Welcome to Sweet Speak, the first Sweet Speak of the year. And I'm excited for a couple different reasons. I'm excited to reconnect here with Paolo, and I'll give you, Paolo, an introduction. And I'm also excited to talk about the book, The Ringmaster of AI. It's Sweet Speak Conversations. It's a lot of these conversations we had in 2024. If you tuned in here on the LinkedIn Live series or the podcast, or even some of the Sweet Speak dinners that we had as well. Those conversations are in there. So please check out Ringmaster of AI. And I'm excited for the second edition, which will come out later this year. And hopefully this conversation will be part of it. So to jump on in, I'm excited to welcome Paolo Plater with us. And Paolo is the CTO and co-founder of Agile Lab, and he's leading WhipBoost as well. We'll dive into all of that. He's been the chief technology officer and co-founder of Agile Lab, based in Italy, and since 2013. So he's at the end of his day. I'm at the beginning of mine, a passionate software architect. Previously, he's led the opportunity to build professional software with telcos, railways, financial firms, developing strong cross-functional skills. And after 5 years of activity, Agile Lab is now leading the big data consultancy market. And Plato is recognized as one of the major experts in these technologies. So he's talked recently about Agentic AI. And first, for those of you who are new to Agentic AI, Paolo, I'm going to start off with, please explain what Agentic AI is and why should we care?
Hi to everybody. Thanks for hosting me. The Agentic AI is the new wave after the generative AI. So in the past years, we observed how generative AI is capable of generating new contents and reason about those contents. But the next step is to make this artificial intelligence ready to take decisions. And this is what Agentic AI is about. So Agentic AI focus on decision making, in automating business processes, but also introducing dynamic reasoning. So the peculiar characteristic of Agentic AI is that it's capable to adapt the reasoning and the decision making based on the context that could be a variable one. And we know we always work in more complex environment, so it's really needed and valuable to have something that is capable to take dynamic decisions like humans do. So the more a business process is complex and articulated, and the more the Agentic AI could find new ways to solve it and adapt to a mutable context.
Talk to me a little bit. What industries do you think are prime to benefit from Agentic AI?
I think all those industries where the business processes are really complex, and typically business processes are becoming complex because of regulations and compliance. So I think insurance and banking are the first targets of this wave.
There's plenty of benefits, obviously, to Agentic AI, but what do you think are the biggest challenges associated with it today?
The challenges associated with this Agentic AI are the governance. So how do we introduce and govern Agentic AI implementation in large-scale enterprises? So we really need to be sure that these Agentic AI are taking decisions based on data that are compliant with the overall regulations. But also we need to be sure that in a large enterprise, all the agents that will be developed will be done according with certain criteria. For example, in Europe, we already have AI Act. So it's a European regulation that state how these agents should be trained, developed, and put in production. So if I am an organization and I want to deep dive in this agentic AI stream, I need to put solid foundations to be sure that all the agents that will be developed will be fully compatible and compliant with the overall strategy. Keep in mind that because this agentic AI will fit very deep in the business, we will have all the departments developing their own agents. So from a company standpoint, from an enterprise standpoint, we need to have some kind of governance. Otherwise, we will end up with a lot of duplication effort and with a lack of knowledge and governance regarding which agents do we have in the organization, what kind of task they are automating, what kind of decision are they taking. So we really need to be in control of this stuff.
You talk about impacting efficiency, decision making. Talk to me a little bit about how it impacts customer interaction.
Obviously, this is really depending on the sector and the kind of relationship you have between the customer and the business that you are driving. But for sure, customer care it will be highly impacted. If we talk about financial sector, also underwriting, credit scoring could be very, very impacted by this new wave. This because all these processes are really depending on the context and the actual context, the real-time context where the interaction is happening. So in which moment you are interacting with the customer care, in which moment you are interacting to require a loan or to underwrite some product. And potentially, I don't know, for example, a bank, based on the characteristic of a customer, can propose dynamic products and create new customized products specific for the customer that is interacting in that moment. Also, from a customer care standpoint, the agent could take different decisions. So how to manage a situation, not according with a predefined script, but according to a more broad context that is the history of the customer, the previous interactions, and many other factors that can be taken in account by a superior intelligence like humans do.
So you talk about how it could help compliance. Talk to me a little bit more how agentic AI can revolutionize compliance and risk management in real time, which is another benefit.
For example, always staying in the banking, in compliance, we have know your customer, KYC, we have anti-money laundering or credit scoring and other kind of processes that are really, really complex. And these processes need to be updated every time a new regulation is popping up or a new version of the regulation is popping up. So we could have an agent, for example, applying anti-money laundering logic that is automatically adjusting his behavior based on the new regulation without the need of rewriting the business logic of the anti-money engine. So I think the information that we can capture from the outside, like the regulation specification or other kind of information, can deeply impact the way an agent is doing his own task. So I think it's going to be a huge benefit for the organizations.
Lastly, as we're talking about benefits, because I want to get into challenges, because there's definitely plenty of those with any newer technology. What potential do you think agentic AI has in driving innovation, such as creating those adaptive financial tools you've touched on financial, and those personalized robo advisors?
Yeah, yeah, we will see. I think huge personalization in products, services, and so on, because what now it requires too deep customization and configuration to fine-grain personalizing the services that you are providing to your customer. In the future, will be this kind of personalization will be embedded and automated by the agent. So the biggest benefit, I guess, is that you will have the opportunity to target in a more customized way your customers. So this is probably the biggest benefit, and also probably address a market and some target personas that are now underrepresented. So population of people where it's not worthy to provide any kind of service or products. But in the future, if the agent can adapt products and services to serve this population, it will become sustainable. So it's also enlarging the target addressable market for the companies. On the other side, we have operational efficiency. So all those processes running, not customer facing, but internally, can be deeply optimized with a lot of saving in terms of FTE, basically, efficiency, working 24 hours. So those are the main benefits that I see in the business context. Oh, I lost you. I cannot hear you.
As we're talking about challenges here, talk to me a little bit. How do you balance personalization with data protection?
Obviously, these agents need to take decision only on data and on data that are protected, and also need to take decision for purposes that have been defined before, and where you have a consent from your users. So if you want to leverage agentic AI in this kind of personalization stuff, you need to have a strong foundation in consent management. And this consent management will become a knowledge base for the agents. And I imagine something like this. So maybe you need to have you will have the agent doing a product personalization, asking to another agent if it's possible to propose this kind of personalization for a specific user. And the agent in charge of consent management will answer, no, you can't, because for this purpose, we don't have the explicit consent of the user. So I see the interaction between agents that should be very specialized in specific areas, but reasoning across all these agents, connecting them and letting them talk will allow to solve very complex problems. So it's like microservice architecture, where you have very specialized microservice for specific topics, and then you have to orchestrate or create a choreography of these microservices. In the agentic AI, this choreography will happen automatically, because there is a reasoner, an agent reasoner, that will solve which kind of agents need to be invoked in order to do a specific task.
Market volatility is a risk when AI systems interact. So how can we talk financial systems, other systems as well, prevent synchronization effects, such as herding behavior that could destabilize markets.
You mean in trading, right?
Yep.
I don't know if agentic AI is going to impact trading, at least in the mass market. I think can play a role in portfolio management, but not in high frequency trading or stuff like this. Because at least at the moment, these agents are not really fast in taking decision, at least not fast as it needed by the financial markets. Also, we need to consider that financial markets are very efficient systems. So I think if a mass of players will start to play the same game, the market will downplay these players. So I see agentic AI more efficient in enterprise processes optimization more than in this kind of context. But I'm not a big expert of trading or stuff like this.
How do we educate on this today? Yeah, this is coming at us fast and furious. And every day I feel like there's a new foundation for different AI modeling. How do we educate and stay up on this with our teams?
This is something that need to be managed very carefully, especially from an IT standpoint. So if the IT departments don't position themselves on these topics very, very fast, we will observe the classic shadow IT mechanism where all the departments will start to do something by themselves, also educating people by themselves, but maybe educating them in the wrong direction. So I think it's an IT department responsibility to start a strategy, and it's part of the strategy, the upskilling game. So the strategy need to set the foundation, the goals, the ethical concern, the platform creation, and also the upskilling program. Then it's super fine that if each business will develop those agents according with their specific needs, but the IT need to keep the governance on this and drive the transformation. Otherwise, there will not be proper transformation. There will be just explosion everywhere.
Yeah, here's a good question for you. As a founder of an organization, a technology global leader, how can the industry foster global collaboration to ensure that the benefits of agentic AI extend to emerging economies rather than exacerbating existing disparities today?
I see already a lot of effort in this area. For example, it's surprising me how much effort a lot of companies are putting in open sourcing these large language model, but also agentic AI frameworks and AI platforms. So there is a lot of open source undergoing in this AI revolution, and this is super good because it's making those tools accessible to everyone. Is really democratizing the accessibility of these capabilities and not making them a competitive advantage only for some specific company that are obviously heavily investing on it. So I'm super proud of how the community is handling this kind of stuff. Also because if you consider the investment that these LLM training are requiring, is not so easy to waste the investment and provide the output of the investment as an open source for the community. So that's super good trend that I'm observing. I think people are realizing how dangerous could be to keep this power in few hands.
If we were to sit here again in 18 months and talk about agentic AI, how's the conversation, do you think, going to be different? And how do you think it's going to evolve?
Probably there will be more awareness about what can be achieved for real and what cannot be, because now it seems that agentic AI will destroy everything, will substitute every kind of SaaS in the planet, but I think it's going to require a lot of time. So I think people in the next 12 months will start to do real experiments with agentic AI. We'll try to do some POC or MVP, and we'll get the real feeling of what can be achieved and what cannot be achieved at the state of the art. So I think we will see awareness and disillusion in the next 12 months.
Yeah. Well, I'd be remiss if I didn't ask, what do you guys have going on right now at Agile Lab? And I know you're championing Whip Boost as well. Talk to me what you guys have going on.
Yeah, we are obviously deep diving in this topic, like everyone. So on the consulting side, Agile Lab, we have a task force. We hired a bunch of PhD, and we are deep diving in the topic to understand which are the limits. Also, because then we need to be aware to propose something feasible and viable to our customers. So we are deep diving on this and running POC, MVP, and whatever. On the WheatBoost side, we are powering our Witty, that is the, let's say, embedded assistant of WheatBoost. We are powering it with an agentic AI architecture. So Witty will be able to solve complex tasks for our users in WheatBoost. Tasks that can spawn from checking the governance compliance of data products, or orchestrating a deployment of a data product, or helping you to discover which data product is the best to do a specific task. So we are creating a library of agents and building the foundation of this agentic AI architecture for WheatBoost.
That's wonderful. Wonderful. And you can go to Agile Lab website to learn more. Paolo, thank you for letting me pick your brain today. It's been a minute since we got to sit down and talk. Great to sit with you again. And thank you so much for joining us today.
It has been a pleasure. Thank you. Bye.